guys, it's Jessii Vee, and in today's video we're going to be talking about ball pits. Now, about a year or two ago, I did one specifically about the McDonald's playplace and like Ronald McDonald like living in the ball pit, which was pretty creepy. But this one is about ball pits in general, and there is a very creepy story I found about a guy who used to work at a child's playplace, and the ball pit was bottomless. By the way, guys, if you liked my Casey cartwheel video, we did have her actually arrive at our house and we did a vlog video about it, so I'll link it down below. And it would also be just so cool if you would head over to the vlog channel and subscribe, because we do follow-up videos over there of stuff that I talk about on my main channel, which is really cool. We buy creepy stuff, we do the creepy stuff that I tell you not to. It's just a really good time over there. And plus, if you head over there and subscribe and comment the cake emoji, you're entered to win this awesome backdrop, so double the awesome. Okay, so first we're going to be talking about a backrooms level, and this is called the Innocent Ball Pit, and it's on level 60. And this is obviously a very ill-fitting name, because when you enter this level, you will see that it's a colorful ball pit shrouded in darkness. In all explorations thus far, no solid ground has been discovered below the mass of colorful spheres. And that freaks me out so much, because it's like swimming in a ball pit, but I feel like you would totally sink to the bottom, but there is no bottom. Because you can't just float in these things, right? Like you would in water, you would just literally sink. Or is it like quicksand, where if you stay still, you don't move? It also seems like the pit itself is endless and just unending in every direction that you look. And what's really creepy is that even if you have a flashlight with you, the light won't shine very far into the ball pit, so it'll only light up what's directly in front of you, and the flashlight almost just gets sucked into the void. So some find the darkness overwhelming and terrifying, while others find it very comforting. There is no way this would be comforting to me. Even though it's kind of nostalgic, I do not want to be in a dark ball pit. No thank you. And there is an entity that lives here called the Grabber, and you'd think it would like live inside the ball pit underneath everything, but no, it actually dwells in the darkness above you. Many people go missing while on this level because of this entity, and it is said to possess this giant hand that reaches down from the ceiling from the darkness and just grabs people and pulls them up. Some people who have caught glimpses of its body says that it looks like a deep sea creature? What? What in the Cthulhu is going on? And there's a picture a wanderer was able to take just as he was being snatched up, and yeah, it just shows an extremely blurry ball pit, which isn't surprising to me. He didn't get a very great photo. So let's get right to our actual creepypasta. This is called the Bottomless Ball Pit, and this is about a guy that worked at a children's indoor park for as long as he can remember. Like, literally. He feels like he has been there so long that he does not remember when he started. It's almost like he had just always been there, which is kind of ominous to think about. And he's noticed a lot of strange things since being there, so we're gonna list some of those out. The first is that there's always the wrong number of kids in the ball pit. The place is always full, no matter how many tickets they sell. So for example, even on a super dark, snowy day on a Monday morning when kids should be in school, they'll sell maybe 10, 12 tickets. But when he goes to do a head count in the ball pit, he'll see there's like 50 kids playing in there, which is like impossible. It's like no matter the day or time, the ball pit is always full of children. And sometimes kids go into the ball pit and don't come out, and nobody ever complains or reports them missing. And even creepier than that is that sometimes kids come out of the ball pit that never went in the first place. So it's almost like these children are spawning out of the ball pit. And the guy who worked there thought he was going crazy, obviously, witnessing all of this. So one day he decided to actually take photos of the parents who were coming into the play place, bringing their children, just to compare who was leaving and who was going. And he was shocked to see parents coming in with one kid and leaving with an entirely different one. One day he even tried emptying the ball pit to see where all these kids were disappearing to and coming from. So he started scooping out all of the balls and putting them into buckets. But after a while, he got scared and stopped. He noticed that the more balls he took out of the ball pit, the quieter and quieter it got, almost as if the entire room was anticipating something, or like the entire place was holding its breath. And he also began to feel more sick and sick as he took out those balls. So he gave up and put the balls back into the pit, and as he was refilling it, the room got louder and louder again, and he began to feel better. So now he just cleans the ball pit with those nets like they use in swimming pools, and he always finds the weirdest stuff in there. Dead mice, crushed insects, poo, random goo. But the scariest thing he would find was unalived animals who seemed to have swallowed a bunch of the balls in the ball pit. And he wondered, how did they get in there? Why were they swallowing these things whole? He thought that maybe the kids were like dragging in roadkill or something, but that didn't make any sense whatsoever. He would have seen kids bringing in animals. He had to take tickets. Now, his workplace had a very high turnover rate because of how weird everything was. So employees would only stay for a couple months and then they would quit. It just seemed that the longer the employees were there, the more they would start to fixate on the ball pit. Kind of like he was doing. Like when you weren't looking, they would take a broomstick and try to jam it into the ball pit to try and locate the bottom, but obviously couldn't. And they would start freaking out when they can't. There was this one girl, one employee, who went way too far trying to investigate everything. She was making everyone that worked there very uncomfortable with her paranoid rambling. And right before he had to fire her, she began asking him all these questions like how long had he been working there? Did he even know when he started, and whether he had seen the bottom of the ball pit. So he answered her,
"I've been here for as long as I can remember, and I'm pretty sure the ball pit is bottomless."
And she's a very good example of why employees should just leave this alone and not ask questions like this, because sure enough, the next week he found himself fishing out one of her shoes out of the ball pit. So now she could be sure about it too, that the ball pit is bottomless. Now, this was a creepypasta by Christian Wallace, and I summarized the whole thing. So if you want to read it in more depth and detail, I will link it down below. But stories like this creep me out so much because obviously like indoor play places are very nostalgic for us. I'm sure we have all been to one. And do you remember feeling slightly unsettled? It's almost like that liminal space feeling where you're there, you're having fun, but something just doesn't feel right. So if you want me to do more creepypastas about stuff like this, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. And don't forget to go and check out our vlog channel, subscribe there. We're having a lot of fun over there. But yeah, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!